on how to get these curls with a hair straightener. It's kind of like a boho, beachy, easy look, and I just really like the way that it comes out. So if you want to know how to do this, keep watching and hit subscribe if you want, because that would be pretty cool. Thanks. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have a hair tie or a clip to keep your hair up, a hairbrush, and some heat protectant. And then I'm using my straightener, and this is the heat protectant that I'm going to use. So I put a little bit in my palm and I rub it together, and I just kind of work it through my hair. I start as if I'm going to put a ponytail in, and then work it through from like the middle of my hair all the way down to the ends. And then I brush it through with a paddle brush to make sure that it's evenly distributed and that there's no knots in my hair, so that nothing happens while I'm trying to straighten it, because knots can be pesky. So then I'm going to take my hair tie. If you have a clip, it works just as well, if not better. And I'm going to start sectioning my hair. So I'm going to curl my hair in 3 sections. So I take the top 2/3 of my hair and tie it up, and then I bring it to the front and split it in 2 pieces over each shoulder. The little baby hairs by my ear, I always like to just straighten those. They're not long enough to curl. And then, so the way I do it is I straighten the first part of it, and then I curl midway down the hair. So if you see how I do it, I'm going to do it again. I take a piece and I kind of turn my curling iron towards the camera and then wrap the hair around it, and then just run it through the hair, and it creates that nice curl. So then when I get to the next piece of hair, I turn my straightener backwards. So you're going to want to alternate between forwards and backwards each time you curl a piece, and it just creates a really nice natural look, that the curls aren't all going in the same direction. And then I'm going to continue that around the rest of my head. So after straightening my baby hairs by my ear, I'm going to grab the piece of hair directly behind my ear, just like the other side. Start by straightening, and then once I get midway down, I'm going to turn the straightener, wrap the hair around, and pull down. Something I do want to point out too, you can do is before you straighten the piece, like I do here, you can grab your brush and just kind of run through it to make sure it's one concise lock and there's no knots. It just kind of helps create a frizz-free curl. Something I always do when I finish one layer is I run the straightener by the crown of my head in the back, just to make sure that everything's straight and there's no kinks and I didn't miss any pieces. So then I lay down the second part of my hair and I tie up the very top, and then I'm just going to repeat what I did on the bottom layer. So I separate it into 2 pieces, and then I take this piece, it's a little kinky, so I'm gonna brush it, straighten the top part, and then once I get midway down, I'm gonna turn the straightener, wrap the hair around, and pull it down. And then when I get to the next piece, I'm going to turn the straightener the opposite direction, and so on and so forth. top section is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to lay it all over to one side and then work on one piece at a time, and after I'm done curling it, I'm going to just let it lay flat onto the left side of my head. And then I take a back piece and do the same thing. And then I'm going to reach a little bit further back and do that section. And I just kind of continue with this method where I start with the front piece and lay it over to the side, and then the next piece, and so on and so forth, still alternating curls, but the front pieces I curl away from my face. So sometimes when you have shorter layers and some chin length pieces in the front like I do, you can run into little problems, like little kinks, because it's just a little too short than the other hair. But all you do is go back in and give it a little bit more detail and do it on a smaller scale and curl to the length of the hair, and it'll be fine. So once I'm finished curling everything, I just kind of give it a glance, make sure I'm not missing any pieces, that there's no kinks, and nothing needs to still be curled. And then the final step I do is I like to use a texturizing spray. So this one's Not Your Mother's Beach Babe texturizing dry shampoo, and I use it to give myself a little bit more volume, and I pick up the side and I just kind of lift it and I spray underneath to kind of lift those roots, and then I just kind of zhuzh it like that. And then I flip my hair over, I give it a nice spray to make sure I get it underneath, and then I'll spray the front and just kind of zhuzh it again and just kind of have fun with it and give myself as little or as much volume as I am feeling that day. Alright, you guys, here is the finished look. I'm really happy with the way it came out, and for me these curls really stay in for a while. It's gonna last a couple days as long as I don't get it wet, and I really had fun doing this. If you guys enjoyed watching it, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.